So with the Black Ops 6 reveal now out of the way, we've been given the trailer, the key art for the game, and a few smaller teasers. We still have a few to get yet over on the Truthflyers website. And of course on June the 9th is the Xbox Game Showcase, where Black Ops Direct would be happening. You would think we would be getting the trailer on that date for the campaign and the multiplayer. Zombies always comes later on. I would suspect around August time for that, but things are underway. And from what we've been shown and told so far, the game sounds very promising. I know with what we've gotten lately, Modern Warfare 3, Vanguard, MW2, things haven't been the best. We haven't had a Treyarch game since 2020, which was Cold War. I would say the reception for that game was pretty good. There were some mixed reviews, but compared to what we've had over the past 3 years from both Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer, I think Treyarch's previous game, Cold War, was still, no matter what you think about it, miles better than anything from the other devs. And to me, that just sums up Treyarch as a whole. Being a fan of the Zombies mode, maybe I'm biased because that's the main reason why they're my favourite devs, but their campaigns are the best, their multiplayer modes I think are the best. They used to be level with Infinity Ward for me, but not anymore. Treyarch have overtaken them in that department as well. So hands down, Treyarch are the most reliable Call of Duty developer there is. And well, what we've seen from the marketing so far for BO6, it all looks really good, although we can't get too much from it. Marketing is exactly that. It's to get you excited, to make you want to buy the product, but we haven't even had a trailer yet. We don't know what the gameplay actually looks like, so you still have to be reserved. But to me, there is one thing more than anything that gives me hope that this might just be one of, if not the best, not only Black Ops game we've had, but Call of Duty ever. And that one reason is the fact that it's had 4 years of development time. That's more than any Call of Duty game in history. The usual or longest time they've had to make COD games is 3 years. Back in the old days it was actually 2 years. Recently that's been cut down even more, but because Treyarch released their last game, Cold War, in 2020, and as soon as they release a game they start working on their next one pretty much straight away. So if they started developing BO6 around November, December time of 2020 and it won't release until October, November of 2024, that's pretty much 4 years development time. We've seen what they were able to produce in 3 years. Both Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 are examples of that. BO3 is regarded as one of the best games in the series, not for the campaign, because that was bad, but the multiplayer and the zombies were so good, were very high quality. The zombies maps were great. We also got Zombies Chronicles. The MP and zombies in that game overshone the fact that the campaign was bad. And their other game that had 3 years dev time was Black Ops 4. Whilst it wasn't as good, you saw the amount of zombies maps they gave us on day one, 4 more than any, and then 4 during its life cycle as well. You can say what you want about whether they were good or not, but in terms of the amount of content they were able to produce with 3 years dev time, that's not in doubt. So to know what they can do in 3 years, and Black Ops 6 has had 4 years of development, well, there are a lot of reasons to be excited. And there's even more when you look at Twitter and you see all of the Treyarch devs that replied to their post revealing BO6. Everybody's now come out of hiding and seem to be relieved that the game has finally been revealed after a long time of having to keep it a secret. But I found a couple of quote tweets which were really interesting. One of the Treyarch devs, who is a game designer on the Zombies mode, said, "I have been playtesting this one for 2 years. You all aren't ready." Hang on, you've been playtesting Black Ops 6 for 2 years now? I think the normal amount of time to playtest a game is usually within the last year. Granted, of course, you playtest things from the beginning as development is going along, but this could tell us that Black Ops 6 has been in a pretty finalized state for 2 years now, to the point where Treyarch have just been playtesting it. If that's true, and the game really was near completion 2 years ago, and since then they've just been doing playtests, and well, what you would assume they would have also been doing in that time is continuing to add more content, improve features, polish things up. This is a Zombies developer. I'm pretty sure her first Zombies mode was Modern Warfare 3, which we know, even though that was an Infinity Ward game, it was initially made by a small portion of the Treyarch devs and is now being continued by, I think it's Sledgehammer, hence why it's getting no content. But the point still stands, if this game has been in a good enough state to just playtest for the past 2 years, that should mean what they've been doing since 2022 is improving features, adding more content, which in terms of zombies would mean more maps, more Easter eggs, and making sure it's in a really good position to release later on this year. So knowing that Black Ops 4 had 3 years of development time and released with 4 maps on day one, well, if Black Ops 6 has had 4 years of development time and was pretty much finished 2 years ago, and since then they've just been playtesting things and improving things, you would think we should at least get 4 maps on day one. Now, of course, you could have less, which might mean better quality, so I would happily accept 2. I think the best would be 3 maps on day 1, as long as they were all really good quality, were unique maps like we used to have, not ones that had big portions of them taken from the campaign like we saw in Cold War or Vanguard, or Modern Warfare 3, which was the Warzone map. I would happily take 2 or 3 maps on day 1 if it meant over these past 2 years, Treyarch have just been adding more Easter eggs into them, more things to do, more storyline content, and they're just really, really good. And the same goes for the multiplayer. If the game was in a good enough state 2 years ago for them to be playtesting it for the past 2 years, well, you would expect a lot of MP maps on day 1, 15, 16, 17, and all of them being of high quality. The game as a whole, if this is true, could be the best Call of Duty ever. And when you actually think about it, COD is a relatively simple game. Each developer just uses the same engine now, but with their own twist on it. Call of Duty really doesn't need 4 years to be made. It's a simple FPS. We've seen what we've gotten from them in 2 years or 3. We've had some pretty bad games, but still, they were playable. Barely. In my opinion, Call of Duty isn't really a game that needs 4 years of development time, but to know that this one has should mean, no, it has to be of very, very high quality. It just has to be that way, otherwise what have you been doing for the past 4 years? Some other Treyarch devs also came out of hiding and commented, I've been waiting over 2 years to say this, Black Ops 6 will be the best Black Ops game ever, no cap. This guy has worked on Call of Duty since 2012. Another senior game designer at Treyarch who works on zombies said, you're not ready for how epic this game is going to be. I will say we do kind of hear this stuff every single year. Of course developers are going to hype up their game, but we have 2 different developers now saying they've been waiting 2 years to talk about Black Ops 6. That means this game has been in a good state for the past 2 years, and all they've been doing since then is waiting, polishing things up and making sure that this is the best Black Ops game, or even Call of Duty, to ever release. Normally, you know me, I'd be skeptical, but you simply can't argue with 4 years of development time. You can question whether that means the game is going to be good or not, but, well, if it turns out to be shit, well, what have you been doing for the past 2 years? Never mind 4. So that, along with the fact that Raven have also helped on this game, all I can say is, it's going to be big. Every aspect of it. We always get a good campaign, besides from Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, but BO1, 2, Cold War were all good. They always do a good multiplayer, granted for a few of their games receptions are mixed, but we've had a lot worse, and the zombies, when they are given enough time, we've seen what they can produce. It's just unfortunate over their past couple of zombies modes, Vanguard, Modern Warfare 3, Cold War even, where they've only had, I don't know, 2 years of development time, or even less, 1 year. That's kind of ruined this mode's reputation a little bit, but that won't be the case this year. So yeah, all I'm saying is, be excited. Anyway, there we go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.